Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the types of chemical reactions. First, let's start off with what a chemical reaction is. It is a process in which one or more substances, also called reactants, are converted to one or more different substances known as products. To identify chemical reactions, it's important to know chemical changes because chemical reactions occur when chemical changes happen. It's important because sometimes substances will not react and a chemical reaction will not actually even happen. So it's important to know when it's happening and when it's not. So for this, we need to know chemical changes. So the signs of chemical changes include the following. First, color change. If any type of formation of bubbles or gas is produced, that is also a sign of chemical change. A change in temperature if a substance gets significantly hotter. Fourth, we have the formation of a solid, which is called a precipitate. If a solid forms that wasn't there at the start of the reaction, then a chemical change has happened. And lastly, production of light. Now let's talk about the different types of chemical reactions. Firstly, we have synthesis, which is when two or more reactants combine making one singular product. Then we have decomposition, which is similar but just the opposite. So decomposition, think about breaking down things. It's when a single reactant breaks down to form two or more products. Third, we have single displacement. This is when a reaction, one element is substituted for another element in a compound. So single displacement reactions always have an element in a compound as their reactants and products. It's just that the elements are kind of switched around. For double displacement, we have something similar, but not quite. So it's elements in different compounds changing partners with each other. And this is seen by the AB plus a CD. So that was the reactants, and then in the products, they changed partners, and now we have A and D, and then C and B. Makes a little bit more sense when you actually have elements. The letters here are just to kind of are acting as variables for elements. Next, we have hydrocarbon combustion reactions. So these are kind of special because there's actually two types of hydrocarbon combustion reactions. But in general, these reactions happen when a hydrocarbon is combusted or burned in the presence of oxygen. And to review, a hydrocarbon is just an element containing carbon, hydrogen, and sometimes oxygen. The first type of hydrocarbon combustion reaction is complete combustion, also known as clean combustion. It occurs when there's plenty of oxygen. So as the reactants, you would have a hydrocarbon, CH, and then plus oxygen. And the products of these reactants are always the same. So in complete combustion, the product is always going to be carbon dioxide and water. For the next type of hydrocarbon reaction is incomplete, also known as dirty combustion. This occurs when there's not enough oxygen. Similarly, the reactants are going to be the same, hydrocarbon plus an oxygen, and then the products are going to be a little different than complete combustion. We are still going to have carbon dioxide and water. Now we also just have carbon and carbon monoxide. So the products for incomplete combustion reactions are always going to be the same. Carbon, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and water. Now let's look at why these types of reactions are even important. Why do they even matter? Well, knowing the type of reaction occurring can help us predict the products of a chemical change when we know the reactants. Here's a few examples. Let's predict the products of the following. First we have a synthesis reaction. We have two reactants making one product. So we have carbon and oxygen, and this is kind of a more easy one, but we know automatically that that's going to make carbon dioxide just because we're so familiar with it, but this goes for any type of synthesis reaction. Next, we have decomposition. So this is when we know that it's breaking down, meaning that we have H2O, water, we have one reactant, and we know it's going to break down to make two products. And the two elements in water are hydrogen and oxygen. So we're going to, as our products, we're going to have hydrogen plus oxygen. For a single displacement, we have element, which is zinc, and we have a compound, which is copper sulfate. And we know that's the elements are going to switch places with each other, which makes copper be alone. So we have a copper alone, and then zinc kind of switches with copper. So now we have zinc sulfate instead of copper sulfate. So the products as a final are just copper plus zinc sulfate. Next, for double displacement, we have two compounds, silver nitrate and sodium bromide. The elements are going to switch with each other to make the new compounds as a product. So silver is going to switch with sodium, giving us silver bromide instead of sodium bromide, and then sodium is going to switch with silver, giving us sodium nitrate instead of silver nitrate. And now our products are silver bromide and sodium nitrate. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like button, and we'll see you in our next video.